Welcome to MLSnet.com's Extra Time. I'm your host, Greg Lalas, alongside Shep Messing. And this week, we're looking at the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference and everything that sort of went upside down in both of those East and West leaders, both losing this past weekend. Sean Wheelock has an interview, and we'll finish up with a little bit of discussion about expansion. You're going to want to stick around for that one because there might be a team coming to a city near you. Now, we're going to start off, Shep, Eastern Conference, DC, New England, up at Gillette Stadium, and you know what? It all sort of fell apart for New England. I was at the game and I watched it in DC without Christian Gomez, without Brian Carroll, and without Fred, actually, and they came out and they took it to him.
I'll tell you what, Greg, and you were there. It was a great game. I'm sticking with New England as one of my picks to make it to MLS Cup final. Having said that, I wrote off Emilio early in the year. I was dead wrong about that. DC United played well.
That's true. Luciano Emilio got 2 goals against New England, and really, DC is one of those teams that they come and they go. Like, some games they look great, and some games they just look terrible. And I think part of that is a new coach figuring that all out. They're playing the 4-4-2, but it's one of those things they need to find a little consistency.
Well, I think it's all about Tommy Sohn has done a great job. How to get acclimated, change the formation, but it's all about who's playing well when it comes to September 1. I think DC United is going to be there.
Well, that's true. And now, the Eastern Conference, the standings, though, they're starting to mix up a little bit. Now, there's all sorts of teams. You have some teams on the rise, some teams falling low. I want to get your opinions of a team that's on the rise in the Eastern Conference.
Well, I think you're going to agree with it because we spoke about it. You got to give Columbus some love.
You have to. I mean, one loss since June 16th. I mean, they're tremendous.
You know what? I happen to think Siggy Schmidt is underrated as a coach. A lot of criticism sometimes about players he puts on the bench, but I mean this in the best sense. Siggy Schmidt, he would bench his mother if he didn't think his mother could help the team win. But they have Schelotto, Hesmer in goal, solid in the midfield. I think they're playing well.
With Columbus Crew midfielder Duncan Oughton, I'm Sean Wheelock. Duncan, you joined Columbus Crew, your only club in MLS in 2001. Just what has been the experience like being at this club for so long?
It's been great. I love the place now. When I first came here, I didn't really know where Columbus was, to be honest with you. So it's really grown on me, and I love it. I want to win an MLS Cup here. We've got the Open Cup, but it's not enough.
What about some of the big players? You have one here in Guillermo Schelotto, obviously on Hell is doing extremely well, and everyone's, of course, waiting for David Beckham.
Yeah, obviously the guys they're bringing in now are very, very good players, and we've seen some other guys that have been great players play here before, the likes of a couple of my buddies, Ryan Nelson, Simon Elliott, overseas now. And then a lot of the younger guys coming up, Robbie Rogers, who we've got here, I think is a very exciting young player coming in the league.
Duncan, thank you very much for your time.
Thanks.
With Columbus Crew midfielder Duncan Oughton, I'm Sean Wheelock from MLSnet.com.
Shep, a team that you think is on the fall right now, though, is your home team here, the New York Red Bulls.
I'm rooting for them, but they've hit a little bit of a nosedive. I think they'll get it right, but right now they're not playing well. They've had injuries. Every team has injuries. Dima Kovalenko, recovering from an injury, and now a car crash last weekend. So, they've struggled. Reyna has really not fit in so far into the midfield. Not blaming him, but it's been an unbalanced midfield, so they're on their way down.
But who do you think could be the key to bring New York into it again?
Well, I think it's got to be in the midfield because they have Juan Pablo up top. I still believe he's one of the best strikers, if not the best in the league, but he's got to get service. He's not getting service. They had great wide play early in the season. That's evaporated, so they've got to retool in the midfield.